guys, how's it going? This is SK here, bringing you my first black and white battle. It's been a while since I posted a video. I've mostly been getting ready for this video here, getting my flashcard and all that other business. But yeah, here we go. I'm versing AceHigh from the Scenery Wi-Fi chat, and he's going to lead off with a Swampert while I go for a Daruma slash Zorak. Yeah, so basically the whole idea with the Zorak is to prevent stealth rocks. So here we go for the taunt, which is blocking the obvious stealth rock. And then, not being able to do very much against this Swampert, I U-turn straight out of here, going into, I believe, Matadogus, which is the Japanese name for wheezing, to cripple this Swampert with a Will-O-Wisp. Yeah, with the new 5th gen, at the start of every battle, you may or may not know that you can see your opponent's team, sort of like how PBR works if you've ever played that. Really, I think it's a pretty stupid thing, and generally, well, almost always actually, I never look at the opponent's team, so I really don't know what to expect from this team. I've tested my team a few times on POL, and it has, you know, moderate success. But yeah, so back to the battle. I get the Will-O-Wisp on the Swampert, and he does almost nothing to wheezing. I head back into my Daruma slash Zorak, predicting the obvious stealth rock, and I'm just gonna go straight here for a stab Nightburst, which I believe is a safe to KO for this with this burn. So Swampert goes down and down and down, and it gets hit pretty hard. And he goes for the Earthquake, which is not gonna do that much, considering that he's got burn. Now that's revealing my Zorak. His illusion ability now broken now that I've taken direct damage. Note that illusion doesn't break out for residual damage, such as Sandstorm, Life Orb, or status elements, but only like direct attack damage. So Swampert goes down to the second Nightburst, which sort of looks like Dark Pulse, which is a bit weird, but anyway. And he sends in Zapdos, which has pressure by the looks of it. I then go for the taunt to stop any agility passing, which is sort of quite popular with Zapdos, as I've noticed on POL, since like a lot of the new powerful sweepers are quite slow, which is quite annoying I suppose. But anyway, he opts to go straight for the Thunderbolt, which kills my Zorak, and then I send in my Q-Con slash Ninetales, that's Ninetales name in Japanese, and set up my Sun, which is Ninetales' new Dreamworld ability, which I'm sure you all know. And this is quite an odd Ninetales set. I've sort of invented it myself. It's kind of defensively bulky with high speed. For the Toxic, instead of going for setting up early on the Calm Mind, and luckily for me, I don't set up Calm Minds because he paralyzes me right off the bat with Thunderbolt, which is a bit of a pain. But at least I got Toxic on the Zapdos, and judging by that damage, it's probably a bulky Zapdos, I'm guessing. So I switch into Bliss now before you QQ Bliss. I mean, with the Generation Shift, there's so many powerful physical sweepers that can easily kill Bliss, so I don't think it's as bad as it was in 4th gen. But anyway, he goes to Thunderbolt, and it does absolutely nothing to Bliss, of course. And he gets a bit of damage from Toxic, and his taunt subsides, so instead of setting up agilities, he goes for the switch into Glister, which I think is a bit odd. But on the switch, I go for Aromatherapy to relinquish the paralysis from my Ninetales. And so he sends in Glister against Blissey, so I'm kind of predicting maybe Swords Dance or something like that, but I think he goes for Toxic, which I don't care for in the slightest, because Blissey has Natural Cure, and I'm not going to stay in long enough for it to do any decent damage. And I just go straight for the Ice Beam, which is going to do humongous damage to Glister. My opponent later on claims that his Glister is quite specially bulky. Apparently he said he had 240 special defense, so I might have got max damage there, but seriously, like, Ice Beam from a Blissey is going to do big damage to anything with 4 times weakness. So he then goes into Crest, knowing he's not going to last very much longer in there with the Gliska, and the Crest just takes the S-Toss, which isn't going to do jack shit to it. And Leftovers Recovery, etc. It's a lot more faster in 5th gen. Notice now that the weather doesn't take a turn in each turn, it just shows up as like a thing in your little menu down below. Anyway, that's it. That's 1+, I suppose, in 5th gen. I send back in 9 tails, sort of just follow just to scout out this guy's moveset. He starts calm minding, which is okay, I suppose. And I just go straight for the toxic, really just as fodder. After I have all this leftovers recovery from both sides, which is a bit slow. Oh my gosh. Anyway, there's toxic, but it misses, which is just incredible considering toxic has actually had a accuracy buff in the 5th gen, and Will-O-Wisp and Hypnosis have had a nerf, I believe, in their accuracy, but doesn't seem to make much difference. I still miss toxic, which is a pain, but it doesn't matter because I send in the what I believe is borderline overpowered Daruma, which is just going to go straight for the Scarf to max attack Flablets, which in the sun is just going to totally stroke anything. Like anything that doesn't resist it just gets stroked by this. Like, there's not many pokes who take neutral damage from this, so I found that survive it. Like, I can't name any off the top of my head, but I'm sure you guys can. But he sends in the bulky Zapdos, I expect him to survive. He's not going to survive. He's just going to get completely rolled by this massive damage Flablets in the sun. Like, think about the modifiers. You have Encourage, which boosts Flablets. You have Stab. You have the sun. It's just huge. I couldn't be bothered calculating the damage, but it's huge. It says in this guy, which will survive it because he resists it and he has relatively high defense. I know this thing is rock fighting and has that ability Heart of Justice, which boosts from dark type moves. But anyway, here Daruma goes down from the recoil, and he has this Terracoinon or something. I can't pronounce that shit. Anyway, I send in Matadogus to finish it off. And he just goes straight for the close combat, which is a bit odd, but that's great for me because he now gets the defense lower, and Thunderbolt will easily kill it at that range. So that's pretty good. That leaves the score at I think 4 to 1, I think, or 3 to 1. Anyway, yeah. So all he has I have 4 Pokemon left: Matadogus, a Shandira. He hasn't seen Blissey, and that's it. So that's all I have. 3 on. And the Scarf Sesandora is pretty common, so I'm predicting that. And he goes straight to Blissey and take the Dracometer quite easily. Yep, that's easy. And with the special defense lower, he's not going to be able to KO in his range. I'm just going to go for the soft ball and heal up. And anticipating that, he just runs. So it's a good battle. Good for my first black and white battle here that I've done on the actual game, as opposed to POL. But I'll be posting more of these, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.